just thank you for that message. We thank you for that word, and Lord, I thank you that there's something for everyone in that. Wherever we are, whatever we're doing, however we're walking, whether we're doing well with you, whether we suck in, whatever that looks like, Father, I thank you, Lord, that there was something for everyone. And so, Father, I thank you that that's the way your word falls. So, Lord, I just pray that you continue just to prepare good soil in our hearts and our minds and in our lives, Father, that we are ready to receive what you have for us. And so, Father, I thank you for that message. I thank you for the way that the seed will fall in our lives just from that and the conversations we'll have. And Lord, I just ask, Lord, that you would then help us to reap the harvest when we don't know how. Father, I thank you for that slant on something that probably we never thought of had we not heard that message. And so, Father, as we have these discussions about the complexities of harvest time, Father, I pray that you would just guide our conversations and that they would be fruitful. That we'll be able to reap something from that message, something of you. In Jesus' name, amen. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I didn't think I was going to. I was quite flat coming into the meeting, obviously with different bits going on, and it gives me hope, a message like that, that God's at work still, when at the minute it just feels like he's not. It just feels like he's forgotten about me. That's how I feel. And that my situation and my circumstances are dictating my spirituality. And in fact, God's at work. So for me, it makes massive sense, and there's a massive spiritual confidence boost for me that God. We say that God is working all things for the good of those, and we said that in prayer time. Because we just say it's the Christian thing to say.
That's great.
Well, do you want to share that? That's good. Well,
Just, you were saying that, and like, I write in this little notebook, and it's got little Bible verses right at the bottom, and the place where I was writing, I'd actually circled it right at the bottom. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
I
I
was just laughing.
On there, yeah.
Just laughing because he was like,
I believe it. I really believe it with everything I got, that I'm called.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you know, it doesn't feel like it always, especially in a season where it seems harder work than normal.
Yeah.
And I think what makes sense with even without looking at my notes really is just like is that of course it's harder to work a harvest than it's stupid, isn't it? I don't know why I had this concept in my head, because it's the way that it's presented to you through church and through meetings and through just being galvanized in meetings. Like what you're saying, we use these words as some sort of get out of jail free cards. To make you feel better about your spirituality and your faith. It's something to look forward to. It doesn't preach so good when you say it's going to be more hard work coming, your harvest is coming, when you actually think, oh, hang on. Because one thing he said, he said it's not from the farm to the table, it's from the table to the farm.
Yeah.
And what he was meaning from that is like you're gonna get off your fat ass basically and go and do some work now. It's going to be a hard graft. You're not just sit there and go, come stuff my face, God, come bring it to me, I'm waiting, which is the way that how blessing is portrayed in church, which is it's going to rain and the blessings come in and you stuff your face on the goodness of God. It's actually the goodness of God will lead you into more work.
Like, because I thought the same as him, that the harvest means you sit back and get the goodies.
Yes, be enjoyed.
But then it is taught as well, which paints the picture in your mind, that we're the workers, we do this, we sow the seed, things like that, but God is he's the one who reaps. We sow and he's the one who reaps. So that gives us the picture then of, we've done the hard work by planting a seed, now God's going to do the rest. That's the picture that has always been that's all that I've ever heard, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's all I've ever heard,
Yeah.
and that's the picture you get in your head
Yeah,
then.
just sit back
That-
now and wait
so
for
God's
the
gonna
harvest. Yeah.
reap it,
Yeah.
and then we'll all get sharing the blessing,
Yeah,
and that's the picture it conjures up in your head. So you don't think about, God's gonna give us a blessing, but there's a lot of hard work to do. Because like one of the things they said at the beginning was, people shout over the victory, but they don't want the battles.
He said, how are you going to be a conqueror without a conflict?
That's it, yeah.
Because he said about, we're more than conquerors. But again, Christianese.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, we're more than conquerors in Christ. Okay, so you up for a fight?
yeah,
Oh no, I don't want to fight. Well, you
Yeah.
can't claim those kind of promises. You're not prepared to go to war.
yeah,
And I think this is again as we
Yeah.
go the distance with God, as we mature and we grow in our faith, you just see the assassination of Christians
yeah,
who are caught off guard by the fight.
yeah,
They recognise that
Yeah.
that he said they want the meal, not the mission. Like how he landed it, wasn't it?
yeah,
They just want to stuff their faces with the goodness and the blessing, but they don't want to work for it. They don't want to graft.
because that's another thing. You always hear all the time, the battle's already won.
Yeah.
And
Battle's won,
it
yeah.
is already
Yeah,
won.
yeah,
Thank you, Jesus. But you
Yeah.
still have to go through something.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He said about the walls, and he said the walls might come down, but there's a fight waiting behind the walls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
Yeah,
like,
do you
oh,
want the fight? Yeah, do you? Yeah.
yeah,
Do you really want the walls to come down? Now you gotta
now you got to
start.
fight. Now you got to fight.
Yeah, that's right. That is.
So yeah, like I'm saying, as you like, we've been in church a while now, and I've never ever been exposed to
no,
the clarity and the depth of what it is to be blessed.
yeah,
Yeah.
True, what is true blessing, what is true reaping and sowing,
yeah,
and it's helping me embrace my struggles
yeah,
instead of like wish them away.
yeah,
Because he said at the end, then didn't he said about your problem can be your harvest,
yeah,
but what we do, we pray it away, don't we? We're like, God, I don't want this. I don't want this problem. I don't want this. God, you promised goodness and mercy. You promised me all of these blessings, and I want in on that. I don't want the trouble.
Yeah.
Do something with that. Give it to someone else who's less worthy than me. It's like it's not for me, but it is so for me. And so in this season of my life where I feel I'm going to choose, like he said, like the hashtag WTH, that was quite funny, and
yeah,
where's the harvest? I think we've got to look at every situation and circumstances, what good and what is God trying to bring from that.
Yeah.
It's been preached to me that, your situation,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now in
But-
harvest.
but without
Context.
like what he say, context is massive.
Yeah.
Without context, that's been preached to us. Oh yeah, when trouble comes, I can see the goodness that can come out of it as well.
Yeah.
But not actually having a full view of it. I just had this kind of a narrow view of it. Take tomorrow as a new day.
Yeah.
Because at the minute, I just feel like I'm just in a rut. Every day is just this. Was chatting to me this week.
yeah,
Every day just feels like another day of the same day,
Yeah.
of more of the same, and I don't like it. I don't want it. I'm not looking for blessing. I just see it as problem. And like what people say to you, this is again turning to the worldly people when you're talking to people, and they say, "Well, they won't be like this forever. They'll grow up, and then you'll have this and that." So then you start wishing away years of the problem.
yeah,
It's actually my harvest, not my problem. And I'm not letting it go to rot you because I've got the wrong view.
Yeah.
God's brought it into my life to produce produce fruit,
yeah,
and I just thought I'm just having trouble. But realistic, I've got to flip it. And this is the thing: God's economy is all backwards.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
why do we think? We've got to give all the way to be rich. You must first lose your life in order to gain it.
Yeah.
Everything's flip, reverse it. Not to do a bit of some solid crew, yeah. But it's all about flip reverse. So when we have these issues, we're like, oh well, there's an issue. I'm not right with God, or I've sinned, or we jump on the negative thing. Actually, I might be in the most healthy place I've ever been with God, but I've seen it as something. I've just seen it as a disaster.
yeah. And he said, I thought it was really good. Sometimes clarity begins with confusion.
You can, yeah, because you said you can't get the clarity. You can't get the clarity without confusion.
Yeah.
You need them. You need. This is it. Yeah. You need chaos in order for God to bring order.
Yeah.
When God brought the world into being and into existence, it must have been a lot of chaos. But He brings law and order through chaos. But He needed something to work with first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like our lives. God needs something to work with. He's going to create a situation or a circumstance or
Yeah.
a need or a want. And He says, do you know what? Out of that chaos, I bring law and order because that's what I do.
Yeah.
But I need to bring it before I can bring you from it
Yeah. And it's like
or through it.
because he took us through the 7 Mile Miracle series, and he said about sometimes it's not till you look back
Yeah.
that you see what God has done when you look back. But
Yeah.
as you're going through it, it doesn't make sense.
No.
I thought this was going to happen. Why didn't this happen? I don't understand. Like, but then you look back and you see it makes sense, but it
Yeah.
doesn't as you're walking through it.
It's just smart. It's simple, but it's not simple. It's still a lot deeper than that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, we're talking about it and taking stabs from different angles. But the other thing He said was, what I'm calling a problem is Jesus says is my harvest.
Yeah.
And so therefore I've got to, again, it's just, for me, it's just to go away and be reflective. And like what He said with the disciples, He painted a good picture there about being at the well, and He said, look up, the heart, the fields are ripe. And then obviously you have this great picture of like the Samaritans, the problem coming from the seed that He sowed in that woman.
Yeah.
Now the harvest came from it as well.
Yeah.
So, but they still see a problem. But when we see a problem coming, it's just about seeing. It's a setup.
It's inside.
It's a setup.
Yeah.
That was a setup by God. See, Christ
Yeah.
Himself set them up.
Yeah.
They always saw, no, there's a problem to get on.
Yeah.
Jesus set it up. He said it's there for you to reap, but we're not reaping it. We're avoiding it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, in our difficulties, definitely we got to really be asking different questions.
Yeah.
I like the way again in that text there, in that John text, he was about the provoking of questioning your faith as well. So it's for us to go back to God in that sense, instead of saying take me from this or get me out, I'm a Christian, get me out of here.
Yeah.
It's about actually then saying, God, I'm a Christian, what are you doing with me here? It's asking the better questions about my faith. And coming to Him in that way rather than trying to dodge bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start reaping instead of dodging.
Like one of the things that really jumped out at me, I probably always remember it, was that God's given you the blessing, but it's rotting because you aren't reaping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what am I missing?
What's your
what
top-
have I missed?
Right. What's your top 5 biggest problems?
Like what?
Any issues? The biggest things that get on your nerves that make you think, I don't want to do life no more. I don't want to do church no more. I don't want to have my family no more. All that other stuff.
Like that.
No, but if you had to.
Working, picking up after everybody. As soon as I clean the hall, they've wrecked it.
So I think the thing here is really to search yourself. And what's your top 5 biggest issues you got with everything?
Messy people.
Yeah, that's probably your top 5 harvest. It's not your top 5 issues or problems. They're your top 5 levels of blessing or harvest that what God is trying to produce. Just to go away and prayerfully consider, maybe it'll not be 5, maybe just that one thing you just think,
Yeah.
if only that would change.
I think
Yeah.
like that, but I'm not well and I just wanted to change. But maybe I'm looking at that wrong there.
Again, it's to prayerfully consider that. That's not wrong to feel that way. And obviously God wants to heal you.
I'm sick of it.
But it's, again, we don't know whether God's going to heal in this life or in heaven. So, but then if it's there for a purpose and plan, it's like in Paul, a thorn in your flesh.
Yeah, we were talking about this in the meeting on Thursday. But if we realise that, even like Paul has a thorn in his flesh, we can, why should we be any different?
Yeah.
Why should we be any different? A great Paul, but God did that for a purpose, didn't He?
Yeah.
So why wouldn't He do it for a purpose for us?
Because the whole kind of thing is like, Well, if you're blessed, then obviously you don't have hardships. You walk on clouds. In fact, the people who are doing the life really, are the people who are more heavily persecuted. If they persecuted me, they persecute you. The mission-minded people, the people again are battering, and the meal-minded people, the devil leaves alone.
Said needful convenience and comfort will keep you from your calling. So while you're sat back, stuff in your face, and you not get your hands dirty.
Yeah, it keeps you from your calling.
There's one thing I think that he said that needs to be considered with a lot of discernment and being prayed about, and he's like, I started writing it down, but then obviously I don't know if I was taking it the wrong way, but it's one of those things, and it was, I can't find it on the notes, but it was literally, he was saying about how it might be a season in your life where you can't do those things no more. Like, I'm beating myself up at the minute because I got this real genuine needs of people who want to see me, need to see me, but I'm you know what my situation is. I can't leave the house, or I don't feel I can, or whatever. So I'm weighing up. Is that because I'm meant to be? I'm knuckling down and reaping, or is it? Or this a trick of the enemy now, make me feel like I can't leave the house? Do you get what I mean by that? Like, because he said in there, maybe there's some calls you can't take right now. Maybe there's this and that. This is why I gotta go to God and I gotta discern what I should or shouldn't be doing. And then again, there's plenty of good causes that are good reasons. But at the same time, then if I'm not reaping, or I'm not bringing in the harvest, if I'm out doing other things, or choosing to give my time to not necessarily bad causes or bad situational circumstances, but actually.
But that's maybe what you should be doing in that.
Yeah.
Not that is where you are.
Yeah. So where everyone else would look at my situation, including myself, and be like, "You need to get out of that situation." Maybe I just need to work harder.
Need to be in there, yeah.
Which is frightening because all I want to do is run.
Yeah.
It's like when we first found out we were going to have a third child. This is what I wrote in Google. How do you cope with having 3 kids? And the first things that came up was all about women moaning about how their husbands and stuff left them in forums and groups. Because that was the biggest statistic, of the fallout of that kind of dynamic in the home, on the third. So it's like, flip, and I laughed about it at the time. I thought, fancy having that come out. I was just looking for a bit of advice, make sure they go to bed at 7, make sure they have some Frosties. My flesh makes me feel like sometimes I can't take it anymore. I'm going mad. But at the same time, then when I hear a message like that today, that's giving me hope to recognise that the waves for me of these things that are coming against me are actually my opportunity. They're my mission. My kids are my mission. My family's my mission. And it's going to be hard work because bringing in the harvest will be hard work. Yeah. So obviously, I'm bringing them in, and I'm bringing them up, and I'm releasing them to God. So obviously, that's a worthwhile harvest to pursue. And instead of it being some sort of like, I've only had 3 hours sleep, or no, here they come again, I've heard another, or the teething, or this kind of thing. Maybe it's my opportunity. It's not my problem. It's my opportunity.
Digging out, didn't you say?
I'm doing the digging.
Definitely about downloads.
Sorry to make that more about me than.
No, well that's how it is, though, isn't it? Because it's real life, isn't it? This is life.
Very relevant. That's
where we're at.
Where you are right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was obviously a really good timing.
And the other thing he said, you said about the digging out, he said it's a preacher. He said that's the whole point.
Yeah.
We dig out so you can download.
Yeah.
He said that was really good. So you haven't had to do any of the work.
No. Yeah.
You just turn up here and go, I didn't like the message this week.
Yeah.
You didn't have to even dig.
Yeah.
You just sat in your ass and consumed.
Yeah.
And we've got to, I think for us, it's like we've got to sometimes think about that as well. These people have put their effort in, and sometimes we can be armchair critics.
Yeah.
And wrongfully so. We have an opinion on that, where other people might be feeding just fine, thank you very much, on what that preacher brought this week. Again, it's about us not being so judgmental. I started thinking a little bit about sometimes how I can be, because we all have preferential kind of preaching and things like that.
Yeah.
But that's because we're a consumer now.
Yeah.
It's like consumerism.
Yeah.
So it's all about what can I get. So then we get disappointed if we leave with half a meal.
Yeah. That's right. That is. Don't ask that.
But if I leave with half a meal, then maybe I need to go to the Bread of Life
Yeah.
and fill up, rather than expecting a man to do a job
Yeah.
that is there for Christ in my
They're doing
relation,
their
my work with
best,
Him. Yeah, definitely. Again, all this kind of stuff just helps you question your motivation and the way that you're walking it out, which is
Yeah.
good. You know, search yourself. It's important that you, as you walk out your faith, that
Yeah.
you continually searching yourself and identifying your weaknesses as well as your strengths, because then you can work on that. And that's why messages like that are very, very good, because we can come in and be all like, yeah, I've got this covered, and actually negate our responsibility to look at our weaknesses and
Yeah.
actually see that in our weaknesses He's our strength.
Yeah.
So, and then we miss it altogether, because that's probably the very moment and very part God's actually trying to use, not your strengths, but your weaknesses and your struggles. That's where He's actually going to be more prevalent in your walk. It's not when you've got it, it's when He's got it. And you're just having a bit part to play in it, because you don't know how to deal with it.
You're in trouble if you think you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the other thing. I'm totally out of my comfort zone now. I'm it's like battleships. I've just been blown up. I'm just rocking. But that's probably and I know ultimately when we talk like this, and it doesn't feel like it at the time, but you're probably in the best place you can be. Clarity from zooming out, not zooming in.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good. Because how can you ever see the big picture if you're consumed with the smaller details? So like very often we get so like, he didn't say all that stuff, that was the one but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. And we do fixate, and then because we fixate and we get sucked in, we miss it all, the stuff that's going on around us and what God's doing. So I think that was a really good, when people say, go away, have a breather, blah blah blah. That's a good idea really, because that's zooming out.
Yeah.
It's about coming out. It's because the whole kind of thing is mountain mentality. It's mountains and valleys, isn't it? So like when I first came to faith, it was all about how I was so excited at how a relationship with God looked different than being on my own, because I recognised that if I could see things through God's eyes, not my eyes, things look manageable.
Yeah.
Even when I didn't have problems looking back, really, but I thought I really did.
Yeah.
But then obviously then in the valley I recognised that everything looked much bigger, but in the mountains things look small, and I started seeing that as for early on, it was one of the things I really enjoyed about my faith was that I could cope, I could deal with things, I could see clearly, I could move freely then. I didn't feel I was all consumed by issues and problems and circumstances, which at the time, like I said, there was never any issue really, but at the time you always feel there is, isn't there? But at the same time, do you know what? I'm healthy. I ain't got an illness. I'm not sick. I've got a bit of a gammy leg, or I've got a bendy finger or something I have today. I have a bit of a moan about it. I'm actually all right. I'm tired and I've got a lot going on, and I'm not probably walking out my faith the way I'd like to.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing bad.
Yeah.
But sometimes when, like I said, you just end up just like, oh yeah, well, I don't know where God is in this, and you start having like your little. I'm doing all right, and I think that's the other thing that we got to with messages like this, is to count your blessings.
Yeah, that's right. That is. So I'm really fed up, and I hurt all day, every day now with pain. And then when I hear about my, and she's like so sick, and she's already been through like 2 years of like terrible stuff, and then I think, oh well, I mustn't moan. But to me, it's terrible because I'm in agony morning, flipping night. But she's like, unless she has a miracle, we shouldn't be moaning about little things really, but we do because we're people. Because there are no weaknesses, He's our strength.
But this is the thing, I think, in all of the situation, like I've alluded to a couple of things. It's about looking at how you can reap a harvest from this point on.
Yeah.
Instead of being an issue or a problem, it's about how can I be an overcomer? How can I be one that walks through my situation and circumstance, not be consumed by it? How can I reap when all I want to do is...
But we do try though, don't we? But we do try. We don't
But
just sit there and wallow.
that's the thing, but I don't see it as a victory thing. I see a problem as a problem.
Yeah.
I've never seen a problem as a harvest.
No.
That's the thing today.
This is a great message because I've never ever even seen this. much. I usually stop about here
Problems.
when she goes off and tells all the people. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
I haven't read this very much from there on. Do you know what I mean?
So when it's like every day is WTH, where's the harvest?
Yeah, we gotta remember.
Hashtag
this is
WTH. When we see that,
Where's
that's
the
gonna be an
harvest?
in thing, isn't it?
And maybe we can make a little note of things that happen that we can see it in, that we thought was a problem, and then we've seen the harvest.
Yeah.
That would be encouraging.
That would be encouraging and celebrates
Yeah.
those victories.
Yeah, it'd
Together.
be great. Purpose in it, you know, and in the problem, harvest in the problem or something.
Mm.
To say, you know, that was how it is, but this is what it was really, because we don't see it as it is.
No,
do
he
we?
said, you know when the harvest year, when it's the hardest it gets. The hardest point is the
Yeah.
harvest time.
Yeah.
So he landed his message.
Yeah.
Instead of feeling I'm getting crushed, I'm actually seeing this as probably the most beneficial time of my life.
Yeah.
To date, you know, I'm only 35, but, you know, to date, I'm probably at the point now where God's doing the most. When I feel He's done the least.
Mm.
Mm.
It's like, you know, Mike saying he said and all that stuff, and it's like, you know, that's a massive, has been a big, you know, problem in your eyes, you know, to the sense of how you keep your head above water, make sure you continue just to walk that out and help her and help you, you know, and deal with it yourself as well with the help of God. But it's like, again, it's looking at that as a harvest, like, you know, how would that have changed the whole duration of the hardest one? I'm not saying you're completely out of the woods, but a lot of it, it's not as it seems to dissipate significantly.
Yeah.
But how much easier would it have been? Not easier, but how much more beneficial would it have been to have that message in the with the harvest? This is crap. With the harvest,
Yeah, with the harvest.
evaluating what good you can pull from this and where you can make ground.
I'm not sure I just still seen it, to be
No,
honest.
no, I'm not
'Cause,
saying you would. No,
Like when you're really in the
Yeah.
thick of things, it can be so hard to see
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
way out of it. Exactly.
but I'm same as you. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, oh yes, they're still got to deal with it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's still a problem. In my flesh, I've still got, because I'm part flesh, part spirit. My spirit man wants to deal with it in the ways of God, and my flesh wants to deal in the ways of man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It's tough. You know something good will come from it.
Yeah.
You're just all the time going, God, you are good. I know you're good. I
Yeah.
know you're good. Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. I think unless you've got anything else, it's just what we be calling a problem, got Jesus calls a harvest. And you can't. And one of the things he said in there was a throwaway thing. He said that you can't reap a harvest with your feet up.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you really think you're just going to sit there and blessing's going to come. You know, it's going to take a bit of work. It's about digging. It's about grafting a little bit. I'm sure there's, you know, there will be fruit that comes from that, which will, you know, there will be a time of rest
Yeah.
and restoration. Of course there is.
Yeah.
But you might not get there if you just decide to sit back prematurely, or you might not receive the fullness of what God is trying to provide for you.
Might not see the blessing if it's
Yeah,
rotting
he
in
said,
the
what
ground.
level do you want to live at or something, didn't he? Meal or mission or...
Yeah.
Well, you could decide what level.